Speed stayed right around 300, and our read speed stayed right around 680. Using Geekbench 2, we got a single core score of 2,200 and a multi-score of 4,418. And last benchmarking app we're going to use is Cinebench. It's going to take a look at your CPU and your GPU. It's going to show you how your system processes moving graphics and also how your system processes still high resolution pictures. Or at least give you an idea so you can do some comparisons. We got an OpenGL score of 11.12 and a CPU notebooks where everything's kind of glued or either soldered in. It's not impossible to get into this thing and to do some things, but it just makes it extremely difficult. The days of just taking out a couple of torque screws and swapping things out are over with. Well, for some people. So that's been my review of the 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display. Take care, I'll see you guys in our next video, and thanks for watching. As far as battery life goes, Apple claims you're going to get right around 9 hours of doing various things, and that's pretty accurate as long as you have the brightness right around 50 to 60%. So, in conclusion, this is a great notebook. It's extremely portable and fairly light. It has a MagSafe cable, so if someone runs into the cord, the entire notebook won't port. A headphone jack, and we also have dual microphones on this side. Here's a look at the bottom of the Mac Pro. We have 4 rubber feet or pads, 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the bottom of this Mac Pro, you have 10 torque screws to take a look inside, and that's pretty much all you're going to be doing is looking inside because a lot of them come to Pro in a matter of, well, I don't really know. But check it out. Up top above the screen, you have a 720p front-facing FaceTime camera. And of course, you have this gorgeous display. It's a Retina display, 13.3-inch diagonal LED backlit display with IPS technology, 2560 by 1600 resolution at 227 ppi pixels per inch. And as a result, you get really crisp, clear text, great lines, great details, and you really want to just watch HD movies all day long. $9. So opening up the MacBook Pro, you are greeted with a very familiar layout. You have a chiclet-style backlit keyboard, which is very responsive. You can raise or lower the brightness of the keyboard. And it looks really components inside this Mac Pro are either glued or soldered in, and that is a bad thing on Apple's part. Bad Apple. So as far as upgrading the Mac Pro by yourself goes, it's not looking good. Apple pretty much wants you to upgrade the Mac Pro when you buy it and have them do it for you right off the back and spend more money. Bad Apple. Bad Apple. But to be fair, most people don't upgrade. It's cool in a low-lit area. You have a really nice trackpad. It's glass, works really well. You can do all types of multi-gestures with it. So many gestures, I'm not even sure how to use all of them, but it works flawlessly. It works really well. But inside the settings menu, there's a cool little option called trackpad, which shows you how to use all the gestures on the trackpad. So if you're new to it, this will help you out a lot. You'll be Welcome to our show. Today what I have is a full review of the 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display. So just in case you missed my unboxing video earlier, here it is again in about 15 seconds. And basically what you get in the box is a power adapter, an AC wall plug, a power cord, some manuals, some Apple stickers, and also a cleaning cloth. Oh, and of course, the MacBook Pro itself. So let's start with design. It has a height of 1.8 centimeters, a width of 31.4 centimeters, a depth of 21.9 centimeters, and it weighs approximately 3.4 pounds. Now keep in mind that's with the decibel reader right above the actual fan vent itself. And I still have all 30 applications still going, but standing 3 feet away you can still barely hear the fan. And most of the time you barely notice that it's even on. But right here I'm pushing it to the limit for the sake of the video. From my experience, it starts up less than 13 seconds. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of PCIe flash storage, Intel Iris graphics, Wi-Fi 802.11, Bluetooth 4.0, and the included operating system at the moment is OS X Mavericks 10.9, which includes a huge bundle of free software. And this particular base MacBook Pro can be configured up to $1,899. But if you get the highest end 13-inch spec model, you can actually configure that one up to £2,690. So we can say 3.5 pounds. It has an aluminum unibody design, and overall the fit and finish of this product is just really good. Apple makes their notebooks feel really high-end and premium. And if you've ever touched a MacBook Pro before, then you know what I'm talking about. And as far as features go, starting on the left-hand side, we have an SD-XC card slot, we have an HDMI port, and we have a USB 3 port. On the left side, we have a MagSafe 2, 1, and 2 Thunderbolt 2 ports, a USB 3 score of 180. And if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see how it stacks up against other machines. And as far as real-world performance goes, I played a couple of games. The games run really smooth on this thing. I downloaded them right out of the App Store. And then also doing things like multitasking or editing in iMovie. I didn't edit in Final Cut Pro in this particular one, but I did do some editing in iMovie, some pretty heavy editing as well. And everything ran pretty well. And in this situation right here, come down with it. It has a great screen, so reading text, watching HD videos, or looking at high-resolution images is a pleasure. And if the screen is too small for you and you need a bigger real estate, you can always add an external monitor. Wireless stereo headset. Check back soon for a full review. Take care. I'll see you guys. The fit and finish of this particular notebook is really solid. There is no squeaky, plasticky sounds, unlike the plastic table that it's on. Now for the back, I pretty much have every application open on the MacBook itself, and as you can see, it's still running pretty smooth, and you're probably wondering, well, how loud is the fan, or how hot does it get? Well, I did some tests with that as well. Check this out. So right here with the thermometer hanging right outside the vent with 30 applications running, or right about 30 applications running, we got it up to 120 degrees. And keep in mind, that's with the thermometer right outside the vent, so it's not going to feel nearly that hot when it's on your lap. In fact, it gets a little warm, but it doesn't feel that hot at all. Now, with the fan at full speed, our decibel reader goes all the way up to 55 for MacBook Pro anyway, and right off the back, even the most base model, which is the one that we have, is pretty awesome and pretty fast right when you buy it with the stock configuration. So, good Apple, I guess. On the left, we have some vents, so this thing can breathe, release some heat, and we have some vents on the right as well. Now, this particular Mac Pro we have the very base model, which starts at $1,299. It features a 2.4 GHz dual-core Intel Core i5 processor with turbo boost up to 2.9 GHz. And it takes right around 17 seconds to shut completely down. Now for the bad, and I only have two things bad to say about it. One is the speakers, they're just not that good, but they're okay, but you kind of expect that in a notebook anyway. We have the Sony PlayStation Gold wireless stereo headset. Okay, so we have the Sony PlayStation Gold wireless stereo. And the last and final thing is you can't upgrade this machine yourself. If you want it upgraded, you pretty much have to do it at the point of purchase, and that can be pretty expensive. So that kind of sucks, but that's kind of what's going on with these new dinner